Okay, guten Morgen. So I see the usual suspect, the Serpentile GECKO Kribo, is at it again. He continues to say that Dr. Keith Mitchell is irrelevant, but yet still spends his entire program talking about Dr. Keith Mitchell. Take a look at the Serpentile GECKO Kribo singing for his supper.
Go on MTV Facebook page, and I saw a piece by Keith Mitchell where he was talking about the RGPF and so on. And it's the comments under that piece that really moved me. The amount of negative comments he got. I mean, people were bashing this guy.
Member of Parliament Dr. Keith Mitchell has questioned the effectiveness of the Royal Grenada Police Force in solving several homicide cases that continue to leave families searching for answers. Speaking in an interview with MTV News on Thursday, Dr. Mitchell was asked to share his perspective as a former National Security Minister during his tenure as Prime Minister. According to Dr. Mitchell, there appears to be a lack of leadership within the area of national security at this time.
I don't know that we have a Minister of National Security. Somebody might be named. It appears that the police force is running itself all over the island. When they have to go and deal with the problems of the community, that they have no transport.
As he has done on previous occasions, Dr. Mitchell made reference to 2 homicide cases which he believes have remained unresolved for far too long, adding that the prolonged silence surrounding the matters continues to fuel public concern.
Sometimes you have to wonder, you know, these guys make my mind go back to this whole joke where somebody steal your pencil or steal your money in the class and they're helping you look for it. That is what they remind me of. Anytime you say they talk about Neelan and Neelan and Neelan, it kind of reminds me of a person who steal the pencil or steal your boss money in the class, that student, and they're helping you look for it, although they know that they're guilty of it. That is what they remind me of or make me believe or think.
Oh, Cam Jones, you seem extremely familiar with stealing bus money and lunch money. What is this? Is this some sort of confession, cleansing of the soul in the public domain? Wow, you're pretty familiar with that sort of stuff. It reminds you, huh? Are you trying to tell us something? Wasn't the reason why you were kicked out of the NNP party that had to do with some alleged misappropriation? You want to tell us about that, Cam Jones? Well, since you're talking about jokes, I'll tell you about a joke that I grew up with around the car in Nigeria. You know, it was said that anytime you see a man is obsessed with another man like that, look out. It means that other man must have packed some iron on him. So, Cam Jones, tell us, did someone in the NNP party pack some iron on you? Huh? That now you have unforgettable hatred? Come on, Cam Jones.
So don't make them fool you or make them believe that they're genuine about Neelan. No. A lot of them just talking. And it's easy to use his name. Right? Easy.
You are right, Cam Jones. You guys are not fooling anybody. That is why when a coroner's inquest was requested, okay, that Mr. Randall Robinson was busy to go on Facebook and say, don't worry, there's nothing to see here. There's nothing to see here. Because in a coroner's inquest, there's no criminal conviction. Well, the question begs, why did Mr. Randall Robinson immediately go to Facebook and pretend that he's explaining what is a coroner's inquest and try to trivialize what is a coroner's inquest? He says, don't worry, there's no criminal conviction at a coroner's inquest. So you guys, you're right, Cam Jones, aren't fooling anybody.
But this guy's playing from the same old playbook. Around election time, he always comes and talk about the police force and the police force ruling itself, and it's like no minister of national security, the crime, and he's always like that. He never change. Every time around election, he always acting that way. So it's not surprising. But he has to know that he's irrelevant in the scheme of things in the country. Just go and read the comments under the post.
And then Quem Jones goes on to blatantly lie and misrepresent what Dr. Keith Mitchell is doing. He says, oh, he does that every time, just like he did in all the other elections. Oh, he talks about the police force and national security. Well, Quem Jones, you're not making any sense. Because why would he talk about the police force and national security when he then, for the last 3 sessions, was Minister for National Security? Would he talk against himself and the police force? No. What you have a problem with is the fact that now, okay, the situation is decrepit. The situation has significantly deteriorated. And that is why he's calling it out. The average person can see that there is a problem. And obviously, that problem stems from leadership. And as every other NDCite, anytime someone talks about your master and your king and your idol, then you guys get upset. Anytime they question the actions of your idol and your master and your king, remember King Charles ain't got nothing on him, then y'all get all sensitive and emotional. Is it an accident that your last name is Jones? Is that the reason why you gravitate to that cultic following? Huh? Is that the reason?
As though he needs help and somebody needs to assist him to come back to his, you know.
If they can do anything and say anything, especially leader. He seemed to be have an art of just telling lies or just coming up with things and saying anything that comes out of his mouth. You know, like when he just came into government, just vote for me by the stroke of a pen, everybody and become permanent. You know, okay, contract work is illegal, and just go on and on. The stupidness goes on, and some people drinking that dirty water.
Well, you could not have said it better, Dr. Keith Mitchell. They're drinking the dirty water. Sounds pretty familiar. Quem Jones, drinking the dirty water. As I always say, they're drinking the jizz, and they're all taking it on the chin.
Grenadians going directly under the man page. So it has about 200 or so comments. Just go under there and you would see for yourself.
Well, you're contradicting yourself, Quem Jones. Okay? Because the thing about it, if the man is so irrelevant, then why the heck so many people are going under his page and making comments? That is not the mark of someone who is irrelevant. If he's irrelevant, leave him alone. What does it matter what he say? But he's obviously not irrelevant.
Emlyn P again made some pronouncements, and you just go and read the comments from ordinary Grenadians. And it's not like one person commenting 10 times, you know. One comment, in some cases 2. But generally speaking, you have a lot of people commenting.
Again, it's quite obvious. Emlyn P seems to be scaring the heck out of you guys. Because again, if she's irrelevant, nobody will be going on her page trying to pay attention to what she's saying. And we know all the people that are saying negative things. Guess what? These are the people that people like you, okay, suck against these people because you like creating an atmosphere of chaos, antagonism, divisiveness, and confrontationalism because you know that is the only way you are going to feed, okay? That is the only way you can sing for your supper.
But folks, I decided to come on tonight, even if I have the flu.
Quem Jones, Quem Jones, you have the flu again? Quem Jones, every 2 to 3 shows, you had the flu. What's going on with you, bro? You had the flu again? You living in hot weather, you had the flu. You come out in the cold, you had the flu. Some of us living months in the cold, and we have the flu. But you come for a couple of days, you have the flu. But that's not the excuse, because every couple of days when you're in Grenada, you also have the flu. What's going on, bro?
For half an hour, I will take some rest and I'll drink some bush.
I will drink some bush
tonight, and I'll take my rest. All right. So, it's flu all around the place.
And here it comes. He goes on now to explain why you have the flu or you have a cold every 2 to 3 episodes. Listen to his explanation.
At the end of the day, sometimes you cannot avoid it. Because for me, when I go to those events at Spice Indulgence, Spice Excellence Awards, everybody wants to take a photo, everybody wants to hug, everybody wants to embrace, everybody wants me to come and visit them, that kind of thing. I go to the town hall, same thing. And even when no town hall are the events, I visit quite a number of Grenadians. As far as the Bronx, as far as Canarsie.
The word is Canarsie, bro, not Canarsie.
And, the whole area there. So I've been out there meeting, greeting, engaging so many Grenadians. And with that, you become vulnerable.
That was a pretty long explanation, cowboy. Are you trying to tell us something? We don't need to know why your resistance is low. So then tell us, how do you explain why you keep getting colds every 2 to 3 episodes and you're in Grenada in the hot sun? You want to explain that? You want to give us another monologue explaining that?
Especially when you on the go, every night, on the go. So important.
And especially when you guys engaged in such a disrespectful act and despicable act in a government town hall, not just disrespecting your own prime minister, but disrespecting the state of Grenada. That in some respects is a cardinal sin. And on top of that, you were unrepentant, okay, and tried to justify those reckless actions. So if the grown people in Grenada, in the society, is not going to reprimand and teach you young cats some respect, then guess what? You will learn by the numbers. I will teach you guys. And for all you grown women who was in that tongue hall and try to be a little on some disrespectful tip, after the session, let me tell you something. I have so much absolute love and respect for women especially, because I grew up with so many women who have been so loving and beautiful, who have been so loving and kind to me, that I don't go toe to toe with women. I don't fight with women. I don't argue and all that kind of bullshit with women. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't on that tip. But you should act and command yourself with some sort of respect for yourselves. And again, I'm not going to castigate everybody who was at that town hall, because some people were very cordial, very respectful. As a matter of fact, I don't run away from people when they want to banter, because I stuck around for about an hour after the town hall, okay? And many people came up and reasoned with me. And many of these people know me personally. They're like, yo, Perry, I really don't appreciate how people are trying to be disrespectful to you. So again, I don't want to castigate the whole tongue hall. There's just a little session somewhere towards the right that disrespected themselves. But many people came up to me and said, look, that was out of line. That was uncalled for. And they were not happy about it. These people I have respect for. But you people, especially in leadership positions at the hem of the NDC, ministers, leadership positions, the responsible thing to do would have actually been to come in the public domain and say, this is not who we are. To say that these actions were reprehensible. But none of you guys had the guts to come in the public domain or even reach out and say, look, Perry, that was out of line. That's really not who we are. We're different than that. So it tells me that this is exactly what you guys condone. And this is exactly who you guys are. So the bottom line is this. That is why I don't block nobody. You want to banter? We can banter. Okay? You come cordial and respectful, then we can do cordial and respectful. But I ain't blocking nobody. And if all you think all you're so smarter than everybody else, and all you could hide behind fake page and this and that, guess what? There's some things that many of us have access to that you in a lifetime would not have access to. So pretend you're more technologically savvy than everybody else. Okay? Try to be wise, guys.